Welcome to the Jesus Calling podcast. Our next guest has an incredible story of survival. Diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, Edie Sundby was given 3 months to live. Fear and worry about her family were her first reactions, but a strong desire to live and move prevailed. While enduring over 79 rounds of chemo, plus radical liver and lung surgeries, she decided to walk 800 miles along the California Mission Trail. And during that time, she got closer to God and learned to trust Him for her life.
We are never prepared for illness. We're never prepared for catastrophe. It never happens at a convenient time. And I, like so many people, I was finished with my child raising years in that my children were on their way to college. It was their first year at college. And I was looking forward to getting back into the work world in a big way. I was looking forward to having them complete their education, get their first jobs, get married, have their children, the script to the normal life, and if there is such thing as a normal life. And of course, things come at you, and curveballs hit. And the curveball that hit me was stage 4 cancer. It was in 8 different organs, and I was given 3 months to live. And my life virtually turned immediately upside down and backwards. But, I knew I would do what it would take to be alive, because if you want to stand up to cancer, you have to have something to hold on to. And I grabbed a hold of what I could. I knew that I had to keep moving. And for example, I fought hard for 5.5 years. It kept coming back because that's what cancer does. I was missing 60% of my liver. And I lost 10 inches of my colon, a couple inches of my stomach. Cancer came back again. It came back in my lungs. I lost my right lung. But through all of this, I kept moving. And I wanted to live so bad that the chemotherapy, I had 79 treatments of chemotherapy. And I would even put rocks in my pockets at weigh-in to get higher doses of chemotherapy, because chemotherapy was the only chance that I had at surviving cancer. And that's how much I wanted to live. And yes, so I kept walking. I kept doing things within my control. The disease was not within my control, but there were certain things I could do. And walking was one of the things I could do. Less than 6 months after I lost my right lung to cancer, I felt, because I'd fought for 5.5 years, through all the chemo, through the radical surgeries, through death, really, many times in emergency rooms, many times in intensive care units. When I lost my right lung, and we pretty much got it, we felt, after 5.5 years, I was so grateful to be alive. I was so thankful to be alive. And I'd walked all during this 5.5 years, and I wanted to just heal, and I had learned that walking is healing. And so I yearned to walk the old California Mission Trail. I needed to heal physically, I needed to heal emotionally, and I needed to heal spiritually. The old Mission Trail in California starts in San Diego, and it ends north of San Francisco, 800 miles. And I started this walk of thanksgiving, of gratitude, to the 21 old missions that lined this old mission trail. And at each of these missions, I would stop. I would light a candle. I would say a prayer. The Franciscan missionary or parish priest would pray with me a healing prayer. And I walked with family, I walked with friends, I walked alone, but I always walked with God. It took me less than 2 months. It took me 55 days to walk 800 miles. I walked on average 15 miles a day with one lung. And when I got to the end there in Sonoma, I did not want to stop walking. So when cancer came back again 2 years later, in 2015, I knew I needed to finish my mission walk. So I went down to Loretto And with the help of cowboys, 20 vaqueros, Mexican cowboys, and about 30 or 40 mules, pack mules and saddle mules, made my way through the Sierras and the Sonoran Desert of Mexico, following this old mission trail, another 800 miles in 2 months to the border. 1,600 miles sounds like a long ways. It is a long ways, but it's really from mission to mission. There were 18 of these old Jesuit and Franciscan missions in Mexico, and there's 21 in California. So there were 39 missions, and that was my destination, was to get to a mission. It wasn't 1,600 miles, it was 39 missions. And the love that I received at each of these, and the sense of adventure to get to the next mission, it was the sense of excitement of 200 years ago, of walking, of getting to a place with food and water and shelter and prayer and blessings. And that's how they opened their arms to me. You know, walking is healing. And as I walked this 1,600 miles, I healed in different ways. My body healed. My body healed from losing my lung. There were mountains to climb, and some days I felt like I would pass out. I couldn't get enough breath into my lung, my remaining lung. But I found that if I just kept on walking, that my lung capacity, my available lung capacity would expand. It would grow, which is how we heal. And I found that toenails would turn black and fall off, but they would heal, and blisters would heal, and aches and pains would heal. And I felt the same way emotionally. You know, God told Job, pour out thy overflowings. Those overflowings, emotional overflowings of, for me, it was fear, it was terror, it was despair, it was all of those things that happen to us in life, that when we have no control. And when we pour out those overflowings of emotion, that allows grace to flow in. And as I walked, my prayer became grace in, cancer out. With each breath, it was grace in, and each out breath, cancer out. 1,000 steps became 1,000 prayers. The prayer I've always had is, Lord Jesus, have mercy on me. Lord Jesus, have mercy on me. And that's always instantly given me peace. Lord Jesus, have mercy on me. To trust in that mercy and to have faith in it and to hold on to it, to hear it and to hear Jesus calling and to follow Jesus. What Sarah has done with Jesus calling is opened our hearts to Jesus calling. And, you know, wherever our heart is, our feet will follow. And so in walking a pilgrimage, the old mission trail, I found that as my heart was following joy, gratitude, thanksgiving, God, it was following Jesus. That's where my heart was, and my feet followed. And that's why I did not want to stop walking.
Edie's walk to healing was a true testament of faith, courage, and the power of hope. Edie wrote about her journey in her book, The Mission Walker.
There was a time to reflect on the story, and that's basically what the book was reflection, not just on the walk, the 1,600-mile walk. It was a reflection on dealing with that universal experience of confronting mortality. I end the book with the 3 words, all is well. That if God, I believe, is whispering to us anything, it's all is well. If he could whisper whenever we're going through the struggles, when we're going through the suffering, when we're going through the difficulties of life, all is well. All is well. I'd like to share one of my favorite passages, if I could. Paul reminded us of many things, and Paul suffered horrendously in prison, and the difficulties he encountered were just profound. But he never gave up faith. He never gave up. He never wavered. And what is written in 2 Timothy 1:7 has stayed with me. And the verse is, "For God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power and love." So whatever we fear, be it cancer, be it financial devastation, be it family estrangement, whatever that is, to confront the situation with love and understanding and compassion as God sees us, because suffering is only temporary. Suffering, as Romans says, suffering leads to courage. Courage leads to hope. And hope never, ever disappoints. Hope. Never, ever give up hope.
To find out more about Edie Sundby and her book, The Mission Walker, please visit themissionwalker.com.